Forgot to add myself. What's going on, folks? How we doing today? Hopefully y'all doing great. Welcome to Casually FC. Welcome to the call-in show. Folks, pardon my tardiness. I'll be so transparent with you guys. I am tired. I am exhausted. I have been doing so much shit behind the scenes and I have a headache. So quite frankly, yeah, I'm being stretched thin. I'm like Moises Caicedo after fucking Benfica, bro. Except not really. No, that guy went through fucking hell. But yeah, I'm in the bin right now. I'm in the bin. But big up to every single one of you. What is going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the call-in show, where you guys get to come in, have your say, talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Ideally, talking about Club World Cup and our chances in this competition. And yeah, let's just talk Chelsea. We will be dropping, or by we I mean me, because it's only me right now. I will be dropping the link to the call-in show in about 15 minutes. So get a few people in here, get you guys warmed up, ready to go. You know, get the creative conversational juices going, and then we take it from there. But ladies and gents, before we start, you guys already know each and every time what you must do when you come into Casually FC. And really, it's just kind of live stream etiquette. So whatever you must do whenever you come into any live stream, which is smash that like button. Let the people know that you're here. Let the people know that you have entered the chat. Smash that like button. Get those likes up. Hopefully, I mean, this is a call-in show. I don't expect much. I don't expect us to get that much traction. This is not the most popular show on the channel, but you guys still come and you guys still, show up for it. So let's see if we can get 50 likes on today's stream. That'd be great. But yeah, smash up the like on your way in. Helps out the channel tremendously with the viewership, with exposure to other people on YouTube, on the homepage, all that stuff, the algorithm stuff. You guys already know algorithm helps us out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, that damn YouTube algorithm. If you want more Chelsea content, if you want to have it on the feed as soon as you enter your YouTube app, consider subscribing. Helps us out as well. We're trying to get to 5K. We're almost at 3.5, I think. Let me actually check real quick, guys, while I'm here. We're gonna have a chill chat. Yeah, we're almost at 3.5. We're at 3470, so we're 30 away from 3.5. About 1,500 away from getting to 5K. So if you guys can help me get to 5K, if you're new here, I'd love that. I'd appreciate that. I'd forever be grateful for that. And like I said, there's a big surprise that I have for you guys as soon as we get 5K. But I won't even pull the trigger on that surprise until we get close to it. Once I see we're close to it, then I'll pull the trigger. But until then, no trigger's been pulled. Even though I live in the States, many triggers get pulled all the time. You know what I mean. Dark humor. Dark humor, dark humor, dark humor. Anyways, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you are notified whenever we do go live. Check out the links in the description for more content. A bunch of the content creators that come on the panel will be down below, as well as myself. I have a YouTube channel where I do gaming and I do MMA watch-alongs. I have my band, which is another thing I do, a side gig. I'm going to band practice after this, funnily enough, which again, like I said in the beginning of the show, guys, I am exhausted. That's part of the reason why. And be sure to check out all the other content on there as well. Helps us out tremendously with growth. And then last but not least, hey, be sure to, Curry, let me know if you want the link. Be sure to check out the memberships. 4 different tiers starting at 99p. All of that stuff helps us out tremendously with growth and maintaining the lights here. You know, this is all kind of self-funded. Everything that you guys put into the channel, we put back into the channel. So getting, you know, upgrades and visuals and all that fun stuff, all that helps towards that. Emojis, all helps the live viewership experience so that you guys can enjoy the show more. We get the production up and all that fun stuff. At least I try to, you know. StreamYard isn't free. That's all I got to say, ladies and gents. All right, well, guys, it is time. It is time. The final 8.
Tic-tac. Tic-tac.
The final 8.
Tic-tac.
Here it is, ladies and gents. Palmeiras, Chelsea, Fluminense, Al-Hilal, PSG, Bayern Munich. I definitely said that wrong. Borussia Dortmund and Real Madrid. The final 8 of Club World Cup, ladies and gents. And we're already starting off the call-in show with a banger. Big up, Omar. Thank you for the raid. Up. Big up, Omar. Up to Omar. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it, Omar. Guys, be sure to check out Omar's channel. Barca fan, but general football talk over there on Omar's channel. So go show some love and support as he has shown us before. Curry, I sent you the link. But yeah, big up to every single one of you. Come on in, come on through. Smash up the like on your way in. Subscribe if you're new here. But yeah, ladies and gents, I'm not gonna speculate. No speculation here. I mean that genuinely. I'm not even trying to do a play on Ahmed. I promise you. No speculation here. No. We will see. We will see what happens with that one. All right. But, yeah, folks. The final 8. I actually got to watch the Al-Hilal game. That game was generational. Right, CP? Generational Al-Hilal game.
Oh, dude, Milinkovic Savage. Oh, man.
Yo, right? Milinkovic, like, Saudi KDB, bro. The Saudi KDB.
The Lazio days, man. Oh, if we had him back then, dude, he plays every he plays every position, man. 6'4", great aerially, man.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, that's what I had to pre-pause.
Oh yeah, he was winning a bunch of balls in the midfield. Also, pause on that one. But yeah, dude, Ruben Neves were just dominating in that midfield.
And then Malcolm too. Malcolm, Malcolm freaking torturing Ignore, man. Torturing.
Gotta give respect to Banu and Koulibaly. Just like all the figures in that team just stepped up. It was such a good game from them. So like, I was really impressed with that game. The back and forth, and it just goes to show like everyone was glazing up. And listen, including myself, right? Like I was glazing the fact that they were getting business done quick, which in hindsight now it looks like they were neglecting big aspects of their team, which is the defense, right? But yeah, a lot of people glazing up that transfer window that they were having so far, all for this, to lose the Al-Hilal. And I know Al-Hilal are no jokes. I know Al-Hilal are like a very, very solid team. But come on, man. This is Man City. This is Pep Guardiola, the greatest manager on earth, up against Inzaghi, who just joined Al-Hilal. But it looks like Inzaghi also instilled his style or his tactics into these players in the span of like 3 weeks already. It was quick. And they were really receptive.
Also big up to Bono, like basically having the same performance he had during his World Cup stint about 3 years ago now, performing like that again, dude. Like ridiculous. And dude, Malcolm turning back the time to when he was balling out for Bordeaux before joining fucking Barca and ruining his fucking career. A lot of, as you would say, like people thrown aside because Leonardo was Santos that went to Benfica, but then was thrown aside by Benfica. So, and he's only 22, 23 now, actually. Yeah, like balling out again. So I think you're right to some extent. You could see like creatively they're still good to extents. Like Turkey for that third goal, that ball thrown in was fucking ridiculous.
There's no denying that signing is an amazing signing. I'm jealous.
Dude, for 32 million, man.
Yeah, I'm jealous we didn't get that player. I really would like to hear the reason. Like to be a fly in the wall in that boardroom.
Which boardroom? Ours or
City's? Our boardroom when we decided that. Because remember, we were linked to this player like 2 seasons ago, right?
Yeah.
To be a fly in the wall in that
because it doesn't track back
and figure out why he didn't come to Chelsea, but he tracked back in that game.
That's what I'm saying. It's because if you get a good enough manager and the right system, and you believe in your system, then they can fucking do the shit.
Yeah. It's phenomenal to see. I like this tournament a lot because you get to see. Pardon me. You get to see teams pair up with teams you never see pair up against. So like all these people like hating on this tournament and saying, oh, like there are literally people out there waving this flag of like pride that I've not watched a single Club World Cup game.
Trust me.
It's the weirdest thing. Like it really is. Like I'm proud I haven't watched a single Club World Cup
game.
No,
but it's
okay. Are you also proud that you haven't taken a single vaccine? Like what are we doing here?
No, but
like,
we all know what it like. If we want to face it head on, it's a European exceptionalism. That's what it is. All the people who are bragging about not watching it are the people in Europe supporting European teams. All the ones outside of Europe that are supporting European teams are still watching it.
Yeah, like it's weird behavior.
And especially the people in England, those are the ones more so like bragging about, oh my god, guys, I didn't watch any games because it's a.
I thought you were a fan of football. I got into this sport because I'm a fan of the sport, and then I picked the team, right? And my team happened to be Chelsea. Yeah. Like, listen.
Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, the Euros are fucking shit until the semifinals, unless you have a Cinderella story like fucking Iceland.
Literally.
Like, bro. Like,
do you remember? You were here when we were watching the Euros, right? Like. Yeah. It was so boring to watch. Like, I preferred Copa America much more than the Euros.
Exactly. It was fucking boring as shit until the semifinals. Because at least with Copa America, you had the tackles and all that stuff. Yeah, other than that, it's like, oh my god. It's like,
it was like two squares going at each other the whole time. Yeah, it's like, okay, someone's going to score eventually. Like,
yeah. And it's like, and then people are going to tell us how the Euros are sometimes like the most exciting in the finals when fucking Spain destroyed Italy in 2012.
Yeah.
Like, what are we fucking doing, bro?
It's this weird like snobbery at this tournament.
Yeah, and it's European, and most of it is also in specific English. I'm not gonna lie. Like all the people bragging about not watching it are those people.
Hey, that gimmick is done, JC. That gimmick is done.
Omar, the chat's gonna be free in like 15 minutes on the CD.
Yeah. I'm dropping a link in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the snobism, Marshall. When someone says, "Oh my God, I haven't even watched a single game of Club World Cup," they usually weren't even asked the question. They just had to mention.
Thank you, bro. Like straight up, like they're bragging about exactly it. Like it's a badge of honor or some shit. Like
it's really weird. It's really odd, but I know but it's not even the Ahmeds of the world. Like at least Ahmed watches the Chelsea games,
No,
right?
like even Mons
there's
from
people
Big
worse
Six
than
Fans, like
Ahmed.
one of his friends, even like all that friend group, majority of them were even bragging, like, dude, I haven't watched a single game. Like, okay, good, bro,
Like,
cool story.
all right, cool, good for you. You're missing out on like some good football matches.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't watch the Nations League mostly because like I am not the biggest fan of watching the European qualifying groups. Like, I'd rather watch South American qualifiers simply because, like, you know, you got Chile versus Ecuador and all these teams that have good players in them, and they're usually really, really competitive, right? I don't want to have to watch like, and I'm probably getting the teams wrong, but I don't want to have to watch like group stages of like England versus San Marin or whatever.
San Marino, but yeah, they're never gonna qualify. But I get you, like a fucking team you don't care about.
It's like it's teams I don't care about. That like it's literally like I might as well watch Bayern versus Auckland all over again. You know, like, and you're gonna have that in group stages. It's just, to me, it's not that entertaining. But who knows? Like maybe the Nations League picks up and people actually start watching it more. But it's just like, I'm not bragging about it either. There's only so much time in the world that I can watch football, and this happens to conveniently be in U.S. time. So it's like, okay, I can watch these games on my time during the weekdays. Like there's football to watch now.
Yeah, and it also answers some of the questions about European teams in general, and because the South American teams, in particular the Brazilian ones, are also the ones that won the Copa Libertadores, which is the South American version of the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, Fluminense beating Inter Milan. Like,
yeah, that was impressive.
Yes, it's impressive, but also these are the people who a few years ago won it all in South America. Like Palmeiras has won it twice.
Yeah,
right? As an example, Flamengo, like, so it's like, bro, like.
Did you watch that Fluminense Inter game?
Yeah, bro.
Bro, okay. Am I being too sentimental here?
No.
Or do I think, or do you also think that maybe another season of Thiago Silva would have been okay?
As a fifth choice center back, yeah, not our fourth or
Yeah,
third,
as a fifth,
fifth choice. Like he has to be
He shouldn't have been a starter. He should have been rotated out under Pochettino to begin with.
But even fifth choice, I would say fifth choice, nothing higher, because it's just the lack of, he's old and the pace.
Like a Badiashile option, or
no,
even
Mamadou
Tosin.
Sarr. That's what I mean. Like Mamadou Sarr is our fifth
Okay,
choice center back.
yeah.
That's what I mean, like that.
Yeah, but Inter, like people were saying Inter looked terrible. I mean, they weren't great. They did create chances. It's not like Fluminense were dominant either. Like Inter got away with a few, or Fluminense got away with a few. Like there was the one that, big up Omar. There was the one that I think, who was it? Was it Lautaro or whatever? It hit the post.
Yes.
Right on that, like that shot that came out of nowhere. I was like, how the fuck did you even shoot that, bro? And their keeper, who was their keeper? He had a funny name. Fabio? Yeah. Fabio, bro. Fabio was just keeping the ball out and making these crazy saves. And then you have Thiago Silva just being a defensive El Monstro for a reason, bro. Like, this guy is... Oh, man. Like,
yeah, but also, like, to a point with that game, we could say it's a bit sentimental, but to be honest, because of this reason. Most of the Inter team is around the same fucking age range as Thiago Silva.
Yeah, that's
Let's
true.
be honest. Mkhitaryan's like 35, Tononoglu's like 33. Besides Lautaro, the entire backline not named Bastoni.
Actually, Lautaro, John is like 31. So.
Yeah, but he's slow in pace. But I get what you mean. Yeah, like,
I mean,
dude,
yeah,
everyone, Darmian is fucking there at 30 something. Yeah. Like Acerbi's 35. Like fucking everyone's old in the backline besides Bastoni and Bisek, but Bisek wasn't playing. So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, Fluminense has some pacey attackers.
It's just youth.
They just not very clean. Yeah, they're just not very clinical. But I mean, you say that though. But even against Dortmund, like when they had the stalemate, it was it 0-0 or was it 1-1 or 2-2? I can't remember. I think it was 0-0.
Wait, who?
Dortmund versus Fluminense.
Fluminense.
Oh yeah, it was
no.
Yeah.
No. I mean, Gurasi was quiet. Like versus, like if you watch Monterrey, Dortmund yet last night. Dortmund completely dominated that first half. Like Monterrey were just shambolic in the back. I think Monterrey went out with like their attacking foot forward instead of like being a little bit more conservative, And that was probably a mistake on their half. They probably should have like played, been a little bit more reserved, see how Dortmund were going to attack them. And Dortmund, like the pace that they had with Adeyemi, the pace that they had, well, it's mostly Adeyemi. Like I think Adeyemi assisted both the goals. I think, or at least one of them. Yeah. But like just getting beaten on pace, and then Guirassy doing what he did just showed class. But that same Guirassy was kept quiet by Thiago Silva. So that's why, like,
Thiago Silva, right? That guy is one of the greatest. Like, he's probably one of those players, right, that should be put amongst the greats when it comes to defenders. But he's not 100%. Put up there because think about it. His brother, like in his prime, he was cold. Like we had an opportunity. There was a moment where we had an opportunity to sign him in like the 2010s before he went to PSG. We had an opportunity to sign him. He actually wanted to join us, and he was open to joining us. But I think Milan were the ones who convinced him to stay for like another season, and then the following season he left. Right? We go to RSM, but we had an opportunity to sign this guy, and the fact that this brother, right, absolutely cooked at PSG, was one of the best defenders over there, right, in the world, in League a league that people don't really rate, and then he left. Went to Chelsea, to the Premier League at the age of what, 34, 35, around the time when he joined Chelsea?
35, yeah.
He was 35. Nobody expected this brother. This brother was just expected to just be experienced in the back, right? Teaching the young kids. This guy comes in and becomes your best center back at 35. Helps you guys win the Champions League, right? Absolutely cooked for 3 seasons.
Big up dark.
Right? 3 seasons he was at your club, right? Showed consistency, was absolutely incredible, even though he was old. Right, you could see that his age was showing in certain moments, but he was still looking like your best defender. And we're watching him in this Club World Cup, still at 40 years old, still playing well. Nah, this guy, he's incredible, absolutely incredible. And you know what? This Club World Cup, like you mentioned, right? I was one of those people that I was very critical at the start of the tournament.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was watching like the Oakland Bayern game, watching them getting battered. I'm like, bro, is this just going to be just European teams just spanking everybody? But I don't want to bring this up, but I would say ever since that game against you guys, when you guys played Flamengo, that's where like the shift started, right? You could see now, like you see like more. I mean, I know Al-Hilal drew against Real Madrid, which was a great result for Al-Hilal, right? But you started to really see now, okay, European teams cannot underestimate some of these South American teams, especially because they're gonna get hurt. Right, but this knockouts, looking at the games that we saw, especially the day before between Inter and Fluminense, I'm not surprised that Fluminense won. I thought they was going to go to pens and Fluminense were going to win, but they won in 90 minutes. And Al-Hilal versus City, listen, people are going to say, but City were not taking this tournament seriously anyways. I highly doubt it.
No, Pep took it seriously. Pep took it
seriously. I've seen Pep Guardiola teams in preseasons where he's trying out Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis, like youngsters. He won't bring his experienced senior players. This was not that kind of a team. He started off with a strong team. He's trying out like the Ait Noris, the players he purchased, the Johnny Reinders in the 8 or in the Gundogan role, like. He's trying to win this, and he's said like very high things about the tournament. So don't listen to City fans chat that are telling you right now it's like, oh, it's okay that we lost a preseason tournament. No. A lot of them were taking it very seriously when they know how much money was on the line and how they saw other teams take it seriously. And when they saw Guardiola go out with those strong lineups, like they were taking it seriously. Like a lot of these other teams are taking it very seriously because there's a lot of money on the line.
You know what the problem is? A lot of these people who don't rate this tournament is because their teams are not in it. Even Barca fans, I hear all the time Barca fans saying, this tournament's a waste of time.
Big up Omar because you're watching it and you're a Barca fan. You're not even in it.
Yeah. I'm just listen. When your team is not in it, it's easier to actually show how you feel. Some people can be too biased. They can be like, it's not the tournament. Barca are not in it. I don't care about it. For me, I was like, you know what it is? Not watching Barca will actually make me watch every team and actually see how seriously these guys take this tournament. And here's the thing, right? I love the concept of the World Cup. So I watch the World Cup, the men's World Cup, the national team World Cup every single time it's played. And it's always cooking. So I'm like, you know what it is, right? People are going to say, but Omar, look at some of the quality difference between certain teams, right? European teams have the better quality. Yes, that's true. But then I could say the same thing about international football. European countries have the better qualities than African countries, than North American countries. Yes, some South American teams like Brazil and Argentina have the same levels of quality. But every single time we watch the World Cup, it's the same teams that keep winning it all the time. Brazil, Argentina, Germany, Italy, France, Spain. That's it. The same teams win it every time. But it doesn't change the fact that people are still going to watch it. Why?
Yeah.
Because firstly, your country could be performing in it. Or if your country is not performing in it, you're going to see some stories. There's a lot of great stories. You're going to see some underdogs, countries that
look at last World Cup with
Morocco.
Morocco, exactly. Yeah,
Morocco.
And look at, CP just called it. Like, we just saw Banu have another legendary performance against Man City. Like, and I've always known
you had Saudi Arabia beat Argentina before they got Enzo Fernandez in the line.
Tunisia beat France in that tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
Belgium lost to Morocco in the group stages, and then Morocco beat Portugal. There were so many games, bro. Japan
with that cross.
Germany
people thought won out. Yeah.
They beat both Spain and Germany. In that tournament. Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? It's results like that why we watch the World Cup, because we're waiting for that first game where we can see an upset. When we saw Real Madrid draw against Al-Hilal, everybody was like, "Yo, that was incredible." So your game against Flamengo, when you lost 3-1, everybody was talking about that result because Flamengo is a big club in South America, but this is Chelsea. Regardless of what you think, it was Chelsea playing their best team. I mean, relatively your best team. And you deserve to lose that game respectfully. You did. That second half, you guys got outplayed. That's why you lost, right? There's a lot of games in this tournament, and this knockout for me has really proven it. When we see Inter and City both lose the way they have, and you know what's funny about your side of the draw? Everyone is looking at our side of the draw saying Chelsea in the final. I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way, because that game against Palmeiras. That's what I'm saying. That Palmeiras game is going to be tough. If you approach that game like you approach the Flamengo game, you're getting cooked.
CP and Dark, you know what I was gonna say? This is a rematch of Club World Cup last time we were in it.
Yeah.
Literally, it's a rematch of the final.
It is.
Wow. That's true, you know.
The last time we were in Club World Cup, we played them in the final, and we struggled against them.
But
that's the thing.
I'll be honest. I'm not hyping up this Palmeiras side. You know, I agree.
No, they're not, but they don't sleep on them.
The reason why I'm saying this is because two of their starting center backs have yellow cards, and then the other center back is fucking injured. So I mean, their back line is decimated.
But hold on, CP, am I correct? Am I correct in saying that when players don't get like carded during this round?
So after this round, it's refresh. That's the thing. Yeah. Okay. So that's why I want us to rotate our squad a bit in terms of our back line, more than our forward line. So what I mean is, I think Cucurella's on a yellow. I think Colwell's on a yellow. Delap's on a yellow. I would start Jackson. I'll be honest. Keep Palmer, but I would play like a Josh Achapong and a
Palmer's on the
Chalaba
yellow too. You know that though, right?
Huh?
Palmer's on the yellow as well. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know, but we need to create some creativity. So I'll keep him for. We can't sub everyone out. I don't want a full rotation, but I'm like,
no, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, so I'm saying like keep Tosin. So have Tosin and Chalaba, right, for Colwell, and then because Batishil is injured, that's why I'm saying this. And then you can have a Josh Achapong as left back cover just for a little bit as Reece James bombs up. Caicedo's already suspended, so you'll probably have Osugu or Andre Santos. You keep Palmer in there, and then you can just have Jackson for the first half. And the second half, as you know now, João Pedro's been registered. So now João Pedro can come off the bench or the left.
Wow!
Yeah.
He got registered today before
he's already been training.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know this because I remember
he got registered today
on my channel.
He's in Miami. He can be part of the Club World Cup squad.
CP, I was literally CP a few days ago. I was doing a debate. There was a debate on my channel between Will and one Barca fan in there, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that even if you sign players, technically you couldn't register them because the players were already registered for the World Cup.
No. So there's 3 registration windows. So the first one was obviously before the Club World Cup. The second one happened the week after the Club World Cup started, was the second registration window.
Mhm.
And then the third one ends tomorrow.
Look, can I just be
So,
objective?
we just
here?
can't-
after
just
the,
can't bring
whoever
in
registers
Gittins,
after
though.
this,
That's what I'm
you
saying.
can't register anyone until after the
Yeah.
Club World Cup's done.
Can I just be objective when I say this?
For Dortmund, which is weird.
Marshall,
Yeah.
can I just be objective when I say this?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think that's a stupid concept when you think about it, right? If you've already registered your squad to go to the Club World Cup, I'm sorry, you gotta play with the same squad. Don't I know this is Club World Cup, so clubs can sign players. You can sign your players, they just can't compete because you've already started the Club World Cup already.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
So
fair.
that's why
it's
that's
not
why
fair.
for if you didn't know this, the Saudi League has opened a special window just for Al-Hilal so they can sign a
This
striker
is stupid, man. That's
before
a
the
stupid concept,
because
man.
because Al-Hilal and us, for example, didn't register the maximum players. So we only registered 28 out of 34 slots. So that's why us and Al-Hilal can do this in a sense.
Yeah, I'm not
and-
gonna lie, that is a completely stupid concept to me.
The thing
Right.
is, like, here's the thing, right? Like, in terms of this tournament, I'm not gonna glaze it up and say it's perfect, right? Like, there are deficiencies in the tournament, like things that have to improve. For one, they have to improve the marketing. That's one big concept of it: marketing and pricing. Because the attendance for this tournament, I'm not going to blame it on the U.S. because the other day I was just, and CP, you probably watched it. Dark, I don't know if you care, but the other day, after the Club World Cup was done, I was like, let me tune into what was it, Costa Rica and USA.
Oh, you're talking
The
about
stadium was packed.
Gold Cup, yeah.
Gold Cup. The stadium was packed. And Gold Cup for us is like a nothing tournament anymore. Like it's still respectable, but you look at the team, you look at what Putch has done in the U.S. Like I could care less.
Yeah.
But the stadium was packed. The stadium was packed. So you can't sit here and tell me that U.S. doesn't have a soccer culture. It does. Football. But since we're talking about U.S., we're going to say soccer, right? Yeah. You can't sit here and tell me the United States doesn't have a football culture. It does. I've been to preseason games for Chelsea. It's preseason. Games that no one cares about because it's preseason. 88,000, full capacity, sold out. I've been there with Dark when it's been sold out. I've been to these games in the hot summer heat in the middle of the day, sold out games. No problem. But this tournament in particular, they have issues. Why? Maybe because of pricing, because of marketing, because of times, where you're having it. There's so many factors. So for one, the next time you have it, depending on where you put it, got to take into account those factors.
Also, no, it's more.
But that is why CP. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
but that is why this tournament shouldn't have been played here. I think this tournament would have made all the sense if they played it in like a England or like a Spain or somewhere where it's like
they could keep it in America.
Hold on. No, but that's the thing, right? I know, right? I
sort
get,
of this too as
over
well,
here
Rico.
financially, the stadiums wise, yeah, it makes sense to play the first one here, right? But if we're just talking about like attractiveness and well, how do you just mention the hype, like the amount of fans coming in? I think that playing it in a football crazed nation, it would have been much better. You understand? For the first one, for the first edition, right? But because it's the first edition and it's a new concept, not a lot of people are going to take. That's why you see a lot of people are downplaying it. Because you got to understand, in footballing terms, whenever there's a new tournament concept, people usually shit on it the moment it comes out. Like people shit on the Nations League when it first came out. When they first talked about, everybody didn't like the concept of it, right? When they said the World Cup was going to be extended to 48 teams, I still don't like it. I still hate the fact that we've added more teams and more countries in the tournament, right? It could end up being great next year, who knows, right? But every time there's a new concept, whether it's a new tournament or new concept to a tournament, fans are instantly going to talk shit about it the moment it's come out. So it's important to always put it in nations where that the fans, they're going to be like packed, right? There's going to be fans in the stadium and it's going to be loud, right? I feel like that's what it needs, but like, don't get it twisted. The tournament has been good, but yeah, the attendances and everything. And also, like you mentioned, CP, is the timing as well. Because here's the thing. I live in Atlanta. I live here in Atlanta, right? We had 2 games during this knockouts. We had the game yesterday's game between Monterrey and
Yeah,
Dortmund.
3
which
p.m.
one of my
and then 9 p.m.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
who else played here a few days ago? Inter Miami versus PSG. I wanted to go watch that PSG Inter Miami game, but that game was during my work time, so I couldn't change my schedule. Like it was absolutely stupid. It's absolutely dumb, the timing of these games.
I think first, if I agree, it shouldn't have been here. I think it should have been in Mexico, so you could have still kept it as the on way to the World Cup, because Mexico is still one of the host nations with US and Canada. So if you wanted that link, you could still do that. And they would have packed this out anytime, any day, no matter fucking what.
Yep.
And if US fans wanted to go there, it's quick and easy. You man go to freaking Cabo and all that shit all the time for no fucking reason anyways. Second of all, I think it's the timing of it too, as Dark was saying, because you have the MLS playing the same time as this, and on top of that you have the Gold Cup,
scheduling,
right? And then on top of that you have the Gold Cup. So technically you have two other competitions involving football around the exact same time as this. One is the MLS, which is their local league, and the other one's a league for the nations, like the Nations League, which is the Gold Cup, happening at the exact same time. So you have two other things competing with you in terms of watching and attending, in terms of footballing wise, even. So even that's off. So even if you
forget
if
the
you
NBA
timed
Finals was last
if you
week
timed
too.
it different, if you timed it so those things, if they either halted the MLS and the Gold Cup, then I think you still would have attracted more people. I don't still think it would have been full because of pricing and scheduling and all that stuff. But at least it would have been more packed than what we've been seeing for Chelsea games, as an example, and other games. Besides the Brazilian ones. The Brazilian ones are fucking packed because they're amazing.
Because those guys,
But
they'll travel for their.
If we're talking about like the European clubs for the most part, it's not a thing.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like streaming wise, I don't think it's been that much of an issue. I think because it's free to watch, you don't have to pay for it. Yeah. It's been moderately successful for that reason. But the time zone's always going to be an issue for anyone.
I don't think that's a good enough excuse. I'm sorry, because as someone, not even I'm saying as a Canadian, I'm saying as someone who has family in India who are footballing fans. Mm-hmm. When we watch EPL, it's 2 a.m. for them when they're watching their Uniteds, their Liverpools, their S and that. All the fans from Asia, from Singapore to Japan to whatever, are watching it between 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. So I'm sorry, European fans, boo-hoo. Lots of these other people have careers. Lots of these people have careers too. Lots of them are accountants, software engineers that I know, are doctors who are fucking watching game at 2 a.m. On a weekend.
What were you gonna say before Dark about in terms of like what you think is the issue with the tournament and the attendance and all that?
No, CP pretty much hit the nail on the head.
Okay, fair enough.
Scheduling and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Like, I think they need to fix on that for one, and I think it's always gonna be this way because depending on what the World Cup host is going to be, like let's say next World Cup. What are they expecting? Next World Cup is going to be Spain. What are the countries?
No, it's going to be different. So the first leg is going to be in freaking South America, which is the group stage games. The first three, it's going to be Argentina,
Uruguay,
and one other nation.
Paraguay, I think.
Paraguay. So the first
slutting this thing out.
Yeah. So the first two games.
This is what. No. So
watch.
Everyone's getting some money.
So the first two games. I think the first 2 to 3 games of the group stage, so not even the entire group stage, just 2 or 3 games of the group stage. Then everything moves from one fucking continent
to another,
literally the other diagonal side of the fucking world.
That's the World Cup. Makes sense. I'm getting it now.
Bro, no. So give me a second, CP, right? Because I have to get this off my chest. This is a fucking joke, bro. I'm being dead serious, right? You see this? What's his name? This Infantino guy, right? This brother, I swear to God, I can't stand this prick, right? Because here's the thing, right? He does all these stupid, crazy concepts about the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
But he never really takes into account what the fans have to do, bro, during this time.
He doesn't
right?
care about the
You've got fans.
about the money.
CP, you've got fans that have to go to the other side of the world just to watch bro. Imagine CP Marshall, right? Let's say the US first game, we're in the first two group stages, right? Fans have to travel to South America for the first game of the season. Then those same fans now have to travel to the other side of the world just to go and watch the second game. And you know, bro, this is what I mean, right? These guys are trying to do this whole thing of, intercontinental connections and all this stuff. Like, bro, we don't need all of that. You guys are the ones that are trying to do these new stupid concepts about moving it from continent to continent. It doesn't make sense. You understand what I mean, right? You know where they learned this whole thing from, Marshall? This all comes from the whole thing what happened in Euro 2020, where they played it in multiple nations, right?
No,
so
it's not that, Omar, it's not that, brother. Okay, I'll tell you the exact reason. I'll tell you why. It's for the money, and I'll tell you how it's for the money. So every World Cup, they have to go to a different region, technically, right? To appease that region's footballing thing, right? So UEFA and whatever, right? So they wanted to find a way to fast track to go to Saudi. So how do you go to Saudi? Because technically you've already done the Arab nation in Qatar.
Exactly.
So what you have to do is you're already doing North America, and then Asia would technically be under Saudi. I mean, Saudi would technically be under Asia.
Give it to Australia then. Give it to fucking Australia.
Two birds with one stone by making the next World Cup encompass two of the regions. So then the next one after that can be Saudi. That's why they're doing it.
The people that they're reaching as well. Think about it. If you have it in multiple countries, how much more people you're going to be attending in those stadiums.
Yeah, but the main reason is so they can go to Saudi right after the next one after America after the Europe and South American one.
CP,
that's why
it's
because of the money. That's what I'm saying. It's Infantino, because they have to hit each region at a time, and this one knocks two of them out, so then they can go back to Asia again.
CP, can I just add this too? If they decide that they're going to have 6 nations hosting the World Cup, that's fine. You decided to make it a 48-team tournament. Not every nation is going to have enough stadiums to play 48, how many games are they going to be playing?
That's not false. You have to appease each region at a time, bro.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest, though.
CP, this is why the 2006 World Cup is considered. Hold on, Dark. This is why the 2006 World Cup, many people consider it controversial that it was given to Germany. Why? Because in 1998 they just gave it to France. So another continent had to host it apart from Europe. Exactly. So when they give it to Asia, it should have gone to Africa, because South Africa should have had the 2006 World Cup.
Exactly.
But they gave it the 2010.
That's why they pushed South Africa to 2010. Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly the reason why.
And why do you think after 2010 it went to South America?
And the excuse with Africa is the only reason they even did Africa in a case South Africa. First of all, South Africa is the richest nation in Africa statistically, and second of all, the cash incentives that the South African government gave to fucking FIFA, for which is carte blanche of whatever fuck they wanted to do, is the reason why. Other than that, they would skip Africa and gone to the next fucking region. That is why after Germany, you had Africa. Then you had fucking South America.
That, who hosted it after Africa? Wasn't it South America? Brazil.
Yeah, it was South America, and then Russia. You can count as the fucking Asian region because you can do 2 continents, so you can either count it as.
Yeah, but listen, we know categorically that it is part of UEFA, so it's Europe. It's part of UEFA, so it's part of Europe. So we will give that.
So they could have just knocked it down. And now they're doing Qatar after that, and then they're knocking down once again South America, North and Europe again.
See, this is what I mean. See,
because they're never going to do it in Egypt because they'll say safety reasons. They're not going to do it in Nigeria, whatever, again, because they'll pull some bullshit. They're not going to do it in Africa.
Listen, if you're going to give it to 6 fucking nations to host the World Cup, you can give it to Africa. Give it to 6 countries in Africa to host the thing then.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it. They don't have the money.
Give it to Nigeria, give it to Nigeria, give it to Ghana, give it to South Africa, give it to different countries in the same continent. At least we can say, hey, listen, it's the one continent hosting it. If you're gonna move it from South America to Europe next, rather than moving them to the continent from continent to continent, if you're gonna do the whole country thing, bro, we've already tried that concept. We've already seen that concept with the Euros. You think about it. In the Euros, we've already seen the concept, right? They give it to different stadiums in the whole of Europe to host it, and it worked. Yeah. Many people didn't think it was going to work, but it did. So if you're going to do the World Cup, do the same thing. Give it to name 6 nations. Say, okay, Morocco in North Africa, we're going to have Morocco, Egypt, right? In West Africa, we're going to have Nigeria.
No, but that's what they did. No, Omar, that's how they knocked off everyone in the next one, because the Morocco covers Africa. You get Spain and Portugal covering Europe, and then you get Argentina and those guys covering your South America. So then it gives
And
free
then we
reign
give
to
it back
Asia
to
again.
Saudi. Fucking
They can give
Asia.
free reign to Asia again because Saudi covers the Asian region because they're usually the Asian Cup winners. So that gives them Asia.
So then,
that's
okay.
why-
So then, does that mean then after that, then that means that after Saudi, we're probably gonna have the World Cup back here again?
No, they'll push it somewhere else because it'll be too short. They'll push it to
No, because think about it. You've already given it to Europe and South America. And
No, they could
Africa.
just
It's gonna go back to Asia.
No, they'll just
technically
make it
has
go
to
back.
technic-
They'll just make it go back to Europe. They'll just make it go back to Europe for the money.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, like we all know, like there's corruption in this, right?
This man says,
Yeah, no,
not
it's
many
straight up the
African.
money.
Hold on,
Straight
man
up the
said
money.
most African nations are not safe, brother. Are you? All right. You're telling me like other nations, like some of these other nations that have
A
hosted
lot
the
of
World Cup
places
are
aren't
safe,
safe, guys.
My guy, my guy.
Any host nation is going to bring
no offense to
tourism.
any-
There's going to be
No offense to any
stealing money,
Brazilians,
all
if
that
they're
shit.
doing it in Brazil when they had to clean up the favelas, when they spend government money,
Mm.
major government money on police informant
Mm.
in Rio de Janeiro,
Talk about it.
and they
Talk
even
about
did
it.
the Olympics there, then I'm pretty sure they can do other regions in Africa.
Plus,
So there's
that's the
similar-
other thing too. Like any
So we're
any
not
host
doing that.
nation,
exactly.
I would assume, right? This is an assumption. Any host nation is going to take the measures, unless you're the United States, because we're dumb here. Any host nation is going to take the measures to make sure that the tourists visiting for the Club World Cup are safe
Yep.
because they don't want a bad name put out there
Yep.
or a bad reputation. Because
That
that's the
happens
thing
in
too.
Germany.
Like part of Qatar hosting that World Cup was also to put a good image of Qatar out to the world.
Yeah, and they had an alcohol.
Middle
ban.
and also just to give it to a Middle Eastern nation. And listen,
Mm-hmm.
let me just say this now, right? I don't think Qatar. I would have chosen Qatar to host the World Cup because I felt like Qatar would just been handed the World Cup, right? I would have
No,
even not
never in a
even
million
minded.
years I would have chosen Qatar out of all countries.
See, this is my point, right? I would see. Here's the thing. I like the concept of what FIFA
Saudi
did,
is
right?
doing.
They're already given Africa an African nation to host it. A Middle Eastern nation had never hosted the World Cup before. You understand what I mean, right? So
funny thing is,
and-
I have
and that's what-
family in Africa, so I can say it. I've gone to Kenya, Egypt, Tanzania, Botswana,
I'm
and
African,
South,
so
and South Africa. So yes, I'm not living in a bubble. I fucking know it because I literally have family.
There you go. Pick up to CP. But yeah, Marshall, right? Giving it to a Middle Eastern nation, there's a lot of Middle Eastern nations they could have given to. Saudi would have been the most obvious one. And this is the thing, right? People, you know what? We all know how the media around the West are, right? They tried to shit on that tournament the moment that they heard that the Middle Eastern nation was going to. So people think it's a Qatar thing. It wasn't a Qatar thing. It's a Middle Eastern thing, bro. They tried to shit on it, but guess what? The tournament, for all of us that actually watched the games, it was one of the best World Cups we've seen in a long, long time, bro. That tournament absolutely cooked. We saw upsets, we saw stories, right? We saw one of the greatest finals in history, right? In any finals in history, right? Right? That tournament absolutely cooked. But listen, people always do this. You know what it is, right? I've said it before. When people try to shit on the Qatar World Cup, you could literally use that analogy for every single nation that's hosted the World Cup in my lifetime. I can use that on Russia. Why is Russia hosting the World Cup? Are we talking about? Are we going to sit there and act like Russia is clean? We're going to talk. Are we going to sit there acting like Brazil is clean, or South Africa is clean, or Germany is clean, or South Korea and Japan?
No. But here's the funny thing. Kai literally, it's like he ignored what I said. He said, "Look at what South Africa had to do to be a host nation and keep it safe." Exactly. And guess what? Brazil had to do the same fucking thing for Rio de Janeiro and the favelas. So it's the same fucking shit. So then Brazil shouldn't have
Sometimes
hosted it.
CP, you always
Brazil
think you're
shouldn't
arguing
host
with certain people, man.
Brazil
Certain people you
shouldn't
just
host
don't
it.
argue with them. I'm gonna be real. Sometimes I don't argue with certain people who are not trying to listen to what you're saying. Listen, whatever, man.
That's the thing. Yeah,
Say whatever you want.
Brazil's not a safe country either, technically, right?
No country- listen,
They were
every
able to host
country-
it. Yeah, no
literally,
country's
bro.
safe, really.
It's literally
Like
has
you're gonna have
favelas.
people like right now with the state of the United States. You're gonna have people arguing like United States is not a safe country.
Yeah,
you have
for
ICE
ICE.
supporting everyone. You have the heat that is the summer heat and how hot it gets. With
Bro,
the
look
hydration
at what's
break,
been happening with the weather
lightning
issues,
and
the weather
it's-
delays.
and bringing it back, it has nothing to do with economy necessarily.
No.
Like bringing it back to Club World Cup.
Yeah.
That's another thing they need to work on is also figuring out the best way logistically to host these without having these stupid suspension in the games, right? Like the fact that the Chelsea game had to be postponed about 2 hours before the players can get back. Like that is like you're already stretching yourself thin in terms of the player welfare with this tournament alone. After a season that they just had, They had 2 weeks off, which wasn't really a week off, 2 weeks off, really. They went into international break, came back from international break, and now they have to go and do this tournament. So that, again, is another factor of like, okay, now you're doing this, but hey, there's going to be weather delays. So not only are you going to play these games after a grueling season, we're going to put you in a dangerous situation of you're going to play a game, you're going to be suspended for at least an hour, a half hour. We're going to risk you guys going back out there with your muscles being warmed up and all that stuff cooled down, and then you're going to risk injury. It happened to Palmeiras.
Yeah, Marshall. Nah, you can't control the weather, man.
I know you can't control the weather,
and these guys got
but like,
physios giving them massages and shit. They're chilling.
I know you can't. I know you can't control the weather. I understand that, but like you can take into account.
Put it in stadium. How about this? How about this, Marshall? We're Americans. We know the areas where the weather usually gets worse around this time of the year, every year, right?
Yeah.
How about letting some certain stadiums host the tournament where we know there's closed roofs?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry, Mercedes-Benz has a closed roof. You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
If the weather gets worse, they can just close the roof and not have to worry. You understand what I mean, right? But the problem is they keep taking these games in venues in areas where basically it's not safe because the weather is unstable. You understand what I mean? I get it.
That's
rains
essentially Jimmy. That's essentially what I'm getting at, right? Like we're talking about what FIFA could do to improve this tournament next time around, right? Because I've enjoyed the tournament. The games have been great, but let's not pretend also that it's been perfect, right? There has been stupid shit in this tournament that needs to be fixed up, and FIFA having this 10-mile radius thing when it should honestly be a 5-mile radius. I think that's reasonable. 10, like if a lightning bolt hits 10 miles away from the stadium, like you're really gonna tell me that's a reasonable radius? Like 5 miles, sure. Like, yeah, be careful and have the players go. Like, I'm not opposed to that, but the 10-mile radius thing, and then every time lightning hits 10 miles away, I gotta postpone it another 30 minutes. That just seems a little crazy to me. That just seems a little crazy.
Especially when you got a game finishing in like 2 minutes and 3 minutes, and then you have to can't stop the whole game for 2 hours. Like, that's what happened to you guys. You guys were like,
that's
what,
insane.
six,
if that's true, that's insane. FIFA rules is 20 miles. That's fucking wild to me. I'm glad we ain't listening to FIFA then. We have to find a way because I'm not going to sit here and say that the United States for the World Cup is going to be a horrible, horrible tournament. Like, if you're saying that, you're coping. And you're forgetting the fact that the United States already hosted a World Cup previously, and it was one of the great tournaments, too. Like, it wasn't... it was a great World Cup tournament. It went perfectly fine. They had no issues. It was a great tournament. We're going to have a great tournament. Don't get me wrong. We're going to have a great tournament. The turnout's going to be great. All the stadiums are going to sell out. It's going to be fantastic. But
Marshall,
let's also... Go ahead.
I mean, Marshall, I would say this, though. These delays, it doesn't bode well for what we could see in the World Cup next year. Do you understand what I mean, right? So I hope, like you mentioned, that FIFA find a way to fix this whole situation. You understand what I mean, right? Because these delays, it's worrying when you know the World Cup is going to be playing around the same time next year. You understand what I mean, right? So that's why I said it's important for them to choose like the right stadiums to host this tournament and know when to play it, right? And also the schedule, like you mentioned, the scheduling also has to be put into account because the scheduling has been completely terrible.
That I think that is also part of the reason why we're seeing the Club World Cup being hosted in the specific stadiums that they're hosting it at. I think it's like a trial run to see what other, because I know there's been stadiums that are already verified to host the World Cup games. I know, for example, the final of the World Cup is going to be at MetLife. We already know that. But I think they're still deciding on some of the other stadiums that are going to host some of the World Cup games. So
Mercedes-Benz is one of them, to be fair.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm doing all this wrong. Wow. But yeah, it's one of those situations that I think they're still figuring out. Some of the stadiums are going to host some of the group stages and so on and so forth. So
for example, the the premier of our province, so your version of a governor of our state, of British Columbia, so where Vancouver is saying because of ice and stuff, he literally told FIFA, we're ready to host more games if you want us to, because of the ice situation with the US. So more group games might be held in Vancouver.
Yeah,
He's like, he literally made a press conference 3 days
I can't
ago,
blame
2 people.
FIFA. I can't blame FIFA for that because that was, you know, you can't predict what the fuck is going to
Yeah.
happen politics wise in the country. Like that's just like it is what it is. But I think another thing too that they have to improve on is how these teams qualify, because I think there's been fair criticism of, for example, Salzburg being in this tournament.
Bro, Salzburg are in this tournament because they banned Russia, bro. Because Russia would have had that coefficients. We would have probably seen Zenit take their
Yeah,
place.
it would have been Zenit.
Yeah.
Basically, they
So there's it's like controversy as well too. Like Salzburg being in the tournament. Who's another? Obviously, Inter Miami got invited into it.
Yeah,
that was another.
I hate that one.
Like,
Also,
although
sorry,
they performed well, but it's.
So you're nomadic. We literally hosted a fucking Winter Olympics. I lived through it. We can host that many people, brother.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention this. The fact that we have 3 nations hosting it instead of just the US, that's actually not a bad. That's not actually bad, to be fair, right? Because I think because we're hosting like the actual Club World Cup, the whole thing.
It's opening in Mexico, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah. We got Mexico hosting games, and so is Canada, right? So it's
Yeah,
easier.
but I think the opening
burden-
ceremony is in Mexico. I think it's Mexico City that's starting off the World Cup.
No, but my point is because you know how we're having all these weather issues and all this stuff, right? It's
Yeah.
easier for the US to choose, so they don't have to choose all the stadiums. They can choose like certain stadium where they know it's going to be much safer because they know they're only hosting a few games, right? Some games. They're not hosting everything, right? Because some of the hosting duties are going to go to both Canada and Mexico as well. So
Yeah,
I
like
guess-
the West Coast, you have the entire West Coast. You have your Seattle, which is also indoor. SoFi
Yeah.
is indoor, and then
Mercedes.
San Fran can also be fine too. You're not gonna have major heat
And
problems. or-
Mercedes, don't forget Mercedes because they have a closed roof as well.
yeah,
Remember when-
yeah. So yeah,
when
Atlanta
you
will
guys-
be fine.
Yeah,
MetLife
LAFC
will be
versus
fine.
Chelsea.
MetLife will be fine.
Yeah. They're
probably
gonna use
Chicago,
SoFi,
too.
right? SoFi's gonna be used. Did you say
SoFi is
earlier?
gonna be used. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be another one too that like they're not gonna have to worry about that stuff. But yeah, I feel like I can't think of another criticism of this thing. Like there's just obviously there's little factors that have to be taken into account and improving the tournament and the quality of the tournament going into the next iteration of it. I also wanted to bring this back and kind of talk about some of these games that led up to the results that we have. I mean, PSG Inter, I think all of us aren't really surprised. PSG were going to absolutely demolish Inter. They're arguably the favorites for this tournament, in my opinion, right? They're
What?
phenomenal.
Miami,
team.
Inter Miami. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Inter Miami.
Sorry,
yeah,
I was
Inter
like,
Miami.
what the fuck are you talking? Sorry. It's okay.
Yeah, Inter Miami obviously getting demolished by them. We kind of already saw that coming. Inter Miami had a strong display. I'm not gonna lie. I think from the get-go, from the moment this tournament started, the Inter Miami Al-Ahly game already had me like invested. I was like, okay, this is a 0-0, but it was an entertaining 0-0 where both teams had chances and they were back and forth and they showed strong displays. So I was like, okay, so the teams are taking this seriously. It's not necessarily a joke. There's an entertainment factor to it. I'm in, right? The other thing too, in terms of the results, Fluminense Bayern. Listen, although Bayern ended up winning, I think it was 4-3 or 4-2. Let me check real quick because I don't remember. Yeah, it was 4-2. It was back and forth. Like Fluminense was making a comeback, and I can't lie to you. Bayern had some goals in that game that normally they don't score. You know, you had the Harry Kane shot outside the box that hit the post and it goes in. You know, like sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's luck in these games. But Flamengo, hey, you guys can hold that for all the shit you were talking before. I don't know if you guys ended up seeing that game. It was a pretty entertaining game from the little bit I got to see.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna. I didn't watch the whole game because I was working. But
Okay, fair enough.
to be perfectly honest, I wasn't surprised that Bayern actually won. To be fair, I
expected Bayern to win, but
yeah,
Flamengo
Yeah,
gave them a good run for their money.
I mean, that was no surprise. I'm not surprised they did. I think nobody was shocked because Flamengo are one of those nations, man. They're one of those clubs, man. They're one of those clubs, and you know what? Bayern Munich, they got the win, but yeah, that game against PSG, listen.
That was definitely going to be a tough one.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
a good game. That's definitely going to be a really good game. And then the last one I want to discuss too is like I don't know if anyone watched the Juve Real Madrid game. I heard it was a snooze fest. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I kind of expected Real Madrid to win because this is not the same Juve we've seen years before. The Palmeiras Botafogo game was another kind of a snooze fest. It was all Palmeiras just attacking and Botafogo just soaking in pressure until they conceded a goal and then they decided to start attacking. And by that time, it was a little too late. It's been the ESTEVOU show. I do think in terms of Palmeiras versus Chelsea, if we're talking about Chelsea now, right? I'll say this. So I saw this and I thought it was interesting, right?
Wait, Marshall, please tell me you have the gift of the guy. I'll leave.
I'll find it. That thing is legendary. I saw that live and I was like, wow, that's hilarious. And that was the last goal. That was the game-winning goal.
Yeah.
That was great. That was fantastic. That guy knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, bro.
So we're favorites?
According to Opta,
Oh, it makes sense, yeah, because we is pathway to the final. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we are favorites to win the Club World Cup.
Okay.
All
right.
Well, they're jinxing us then.
No, it's the only reason is because everyone good is on that other side, like statistically.
Listen, I think we should be able to
means the
convincingly beat Palmeiras, right? Because Palmeiras, like in my opinion, they've done well to get to this far into the tournament, but it's been mostly ESTEVOU. I haven't seen much of like Palmeiras to really convince you, like, wow, this team is like really impressive. Like Flamengo impressed me, right? I mean, yeah,
this is probably the worst team in 4 years.
Yeah. So like, I think we can really control the shit out of that game and be okay. Now, Fluminense, Al-Hilal, either of those, I'm gonna be precautious. I'm definitely gonna be precautious against that team because
if
I'm not gonna
it's
take them
Al-Hilal, we need our best midfield.
100%.
Because Milinkovic-Savic with Ruben Neves,
Flamengo too, yeah.
Like they're gonna fucking go band for band with our midfield, and I'm not worried about technically, but it's the physicality that Milinkovic-Savic himself just brings.
Mm-hmm. No, Milinkovic-Savic was
that's more
going
what it
crazy that game.
And then also they have Bono, right? Like he's way better.
Bono, he's gonna frustrate the fuck out of our attackers. That much is for sure.
And we don't know what striker, because like I told you, right? Specifically, the Saudi League has opened a special window, so Al-Hilal can register a striker by tomorrow. So they might have a new striker that we don't know who the fuck it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's possible, and I mean
Maybe
that's the thing too. What happened?
I was like, maybe it's Nicholas Jackson.
I don't think it'll be Nicholas Jackson.
I know it's not. I'm just
call him, man. I know we don't like Nicholas Jackson at the moment, but call him. We won't. But that's the other thing too. Like, I don't think it can be Nicholas Jackson, even if they wanted it to be.
He can. He's already played in the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, and if they were to sign him, he gets taken off of our roster or our squad, and can't play for Chelsea. It's weird because Dortmund didn't have Gittins on the bench. I saw that yesterday. Yeah. No Gittins on the bench, so Gittins is no longer in the Dortmund squad, but he can't play for Chelsea. It's an odd rule. I think that's another thing too that Omar's right.
It's like it's cup tied. Remember what they did with who was it? Neto.
It's cup tied, but he should still be able to play for Dortmund in the tournament.
No, he's not playing for Dortmund because he's signed for us.
But he started the tournament with them. It just seems weird to me.
What do you mean that he's not allowed to play?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not allowed to play because he's part of our team now. It's like Neto, literally not our Neto. I'm talking about Neto, the goalkeeper from Bournemouth.
He is cup tied.
Yeah, he's cup tied. It's like that.
He played against Fluminense. No, but like but this is okay. Here, hold on. This is a continuation of the 24-25 season, right? Yeah. Gittins started off the tournament with them. He's still a player until the end of the year. Once the season ends, he's our player.
We bought him.
Actually, it's so confusing.
We bought him. The transfer window happened. We bought him. He's ours, basically. Dude, it's like Neto. It's like Neto for Arsenal. He was bought from Bournemouth. He was cup tied because he technically played the first round or second round of the FA Cup or Carabao Cup for Bournemouth. Literally, technically this season, the 2024-2025 season. And that's why he couldn't play any cup games. And he was their backup goalkeeper. And he was meant to be their cup goalkeeper.
Yeah. No, yeah.
It was the same thing.
It's, yeah, I guess so. It's just, to me, it's just, I don't know. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. I know you tried to explain it. I just can't wrap my head around it. But in terms of EE, I don't think we're overhyping that midfield. If you, maybe you saw the City game, but like, you got to understand, like, Ruben Neves and Milinkovic-Savic were up against Rodri. They were up against Reinders. They were up against Cherky. They went up against Gundogan. Who else was in that midfield for them?
So their midfield right now, this is what they started off with. Bernardo Silva, Reinders, Gundogan, but they subbed on Rodri. And then they subbed him on and they subbed him off because he was getting fucking cooked.
I think he got hurt, to be honest.
No, I think he's fine. I think he's fine now. But yeah, their midfield is so technically Ruben Neves was playing like a center back, but he was like a center back moving into the midfield. So it was basically him, Milinkovic-Savic, and this guy named Kano. So that's what it was like, the midfield three.
Yeah. It was just impressive to see their team do that. And the passes that Savic was pulling off were absolutely insane. They were thread of the needle passes that, honestly, like, and I don't mean to like glaze him up this much, but honestly, they were KDB-esque. They're the only midfielder I can think off the top of my head that can pull off. Shut up. That can pull off those kind of passes are KDB.
Yeah, Mr. João Felix guy. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, bro.
I'm gonna let that go. He got us the long sleeves, guys. Come on, give him some credit.
He got us okay.
Yeah, whatever. JC, you've been quiet in the background, bro. What are you saying, dog?
Hi, hello. Yeah, I was just thinking about like communication, thinking when do I drop in, and yeah, if you had, I was listening carefully to your summary of the tournament and all. So I was thinking whether should I crash on this tournament or not. So there are
we gave you both sides of it. That's what we do here. We weren't just being negative. We were talking about the positive too.
Yeah. No, there is a very good thing, but I will save it for the last for this tournament. But let me crash also a little bit. I mean, first of all, the empty stadiums. Come on, man. I mean, at least if you are not selling out the tickets, go and give free tickets to some, I don't know, football academies, to kids, to schools. That's what we do in Eastern Europe. I mean, if the match is not sold out, the kids come to watch it. They are given tickets. The academies are given tickets. I mean, if there are no academies and there is no football on grassroots levels, then what are we doing? I mean, we can have an ice hockey world championship in Nepal or I do not know, in Morocco, but is it like that in USA? I mean, you cannot fill a stadium because people have to work. I mean, come on. Then this tournament is taking place in a wrong place.
There's other sports as well.
Go to Brazil, go to Saudi Arabia and make it. That's even better.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with JC in a point of it's also summer vacation, so college kids literally have nothing to do with their lives besides traveling to Europe or going to these games, or even regular kids.
CP, these are all excuses. Football is not big enough that people are not bothered to make a people for their vacations. I mean, just filling a stadium in big cities. So it's a disaster. And FIFA, what are you doing? I mean, are you running this tournament as a rehearsal for the World Cup? That's downgrading the tournament. That's downgrading this tournament. I mean, go to a proper place. And then some of the refereeing, oh my God,
that's a good point, actually. I didn't bring that up. The refereeing has been
awful. Some of those clowns, it's all about them. They want to be the superstars of the game, not the game. I mean, going around jumping like rabbits with yellow cards, I mean, come on. I mean, nobody.
How do you
came
feel
here
about
to
the
watch you.
miking them up and the cameras?
I like that. That's actually, I you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because that's something I forgot to mention. The referee cameras and the miking up referees, big fan of that. Big fan of that. I don't really care about the player call-outs thing. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It totally makes no difference to me. But all these things, if you want to bring it into the Prem, if you want to bring it to European football, big fan. Let's do it. Those referee angles are fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie. Seeing some of the goal from the referee's point of view, whew.
I'm coming to the positive side. Let me crash.
Go
Let
for
me
it.
still there are some things left. Another thing I noticed is MLS. Oh my god, the level is so bad. It's like grandfathers playing, huh? It's I mean, Saudi Arabia teams are good. It's like my grandfather is playing. I mean, PSG was having a pity on them, like grandfather. Like I don't want another Auckland score. I think they should have dunked on this Inter
Nah.
No,
Miami.
JC, they couldn't because it's because it's Messi. It's like it's Enrique and the
So
whole
have a
Messi
pity on
connection.
that grandfather. I mean, come on, hit them with 10 goals. I mean, respect the opponent. Show them respect. Kill them like 10 goals. Hit those. But okay, I mean, there is a clear gap. I mean, you can't compare MLS even with the Saudi league is much better.
So Ronaldo was
Brazil
right.
is much better.
Ronaldo
Boca
was-
Juniors and Argentina, fantastic teams.
He's not wrong.
MLS nowhere near these players. Nowhere near these.
Okay, hold on. I gotta push back a
Retirement
little
league.
bit. I gotta push back a little bit. I don't think nowhere near. The gap is
There's
there.
nowhere near.
No, the gap is
it-
there. Listen, you got to take into account. Look at the group that Seattle Sounders, for example. In my opinion, Seattle Sounders is the best team in MLS. Look at the group that they were put in. They were put in a team. They were put. What MLS team do you think is better than Seattle Sounders?
got? Oh, we're fucked.
You know what
Look
the
at
funny
the
thing
group.
is? You know what the funny thing is? Seattle Sounders are 5th right now in the Western Conference. So I don't know what Marshall's talking about. But okay.
But in terms of over
Apparently
the
that's
span of the
best
last
we
4
have.
seasons, they've been a dominant team in MLS.
And
Right? Am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
Okay, now
So
one more.
wait, hold on.
Actually,
I didn't
you
even
are
get my
wrong.
chance. I didn't even get a
You're
chance to
wrong.
rebut you. I
You're
didn't
wrong.
even get a chance to rebuttal you. Hold on. Look at the group that Seattle Sounders were put in. They were put in with Atletico Madrid, Botafogo, and PSG. Yes, obviously they're going to lose against PSG, but look at the game. Like, they didn't lose by much. They put up a good fight. Atletico Madrid also put up a good fight against us. Botafogo almost lost or almost drew against them. They
Hold on,
almost made a
Marshall,
comeback
let me
against
answer
them.
Kai. Let me answer Kai. Kai, подожди. Америка, сейчас Почетину будет, потом посмотрим, что там у вас там
I
получится.
swear to God.
I'm telling Kai because he speaks Russian. He's saying about the World Cup how you perform better. You have Pochettino. We are waiting for you in the
Wait,
World Cup.
wait.
We will see what will happen to America in the World Cup. Just
No,
hold
that's
it.
a horrible example. No.
And that
Brother,
one Asian
brother,
team
brother.
was pretty
I'm not a
bad.
clown.
Brother, you're saying
And with the
America
pain.
does better than many countries, brother. They haven't reached past the round of 16 when you have freaking Morocco going to quarterfinals. Bro, what are you talking about? Their golden generation with Landon Donovich only went to fucking pass the round of 16 once. What are we doing? What are we doing? They're better than many countries.
LAFC were horrible. Let's be real. LAFC
As
were
long
horrible,
as
but
you are
they weren't
sticking
really
with
supposed to be in this
Pochettino,
tournament
we are
to
going
begin
to
with.
enjoy. So now
Kai,
the good thing, the
probably
best
watches-
thing,
can't-
probably
I
the
watches
can't
best
watch
thing.
Pochettino.
Okay,
I'm
enough
losing my
crashing. The
Pochettino.
best thing I liked. The best thing I liked. The offside rulings are so fast, so
Kai, we're in
fast and
cricket.
perfect.
We're at least good at
I mean,
that.
you look
What are you
at
talking about?
England; they are drawing lines, man. So stupid lines, waiting for 5 minutes for with a pencil.
No,
they are
England-
drawing whatever they're doing. Whatever
England
they're
have
doing,
the automated
learn
offside now.
from
Oh,
them.
the AI.
Yeah, they have automated offside. UK have automated
That
offside
is
now.
fantastic. I mean,
Finally.
English Premier League.
Jesus Christ.
Look at that.
It did take
Look
forever,
at that.
yes.
And stop drawing lines like amateurs. I mean, and wasting 5 minutes, 10 minutes on those, and then thinking about it, and eventually somebody draws a line back, and then they are apologizing and all that nonsense. That is the best thing to come out of this. So that
That's
is the
it?
one positive I see.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, like okay, the real tournament, the real games will be now. I would say real competitive games. It will be fun going forward.
I mean, the groups.
It's the business end.
I personally thought the group stages were fun. Like Botafogo causing the upset against PSG. I think that was a good game. I think Botafogo versus Seattle Sounders was a great game to watch. Benfica Boca Juniors. That was a fantastic game. Really, really showed what South American teams can bring to the table in terms of aggressionness and real grit in football,
Yeah, but
right?
if you want to talk about South America, let's talk about the letdown that is fucking Argentina, eh? Botafogo
Yeah, those
and
shit
River
cans.
Plate, eh?
Yeah. I mean, let's be real as well. Shame on River Plate and the way they shame on River Plate and the way
They try to fight Dumfries.
they lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
classless.
Hey, that's football heritage. I appreciate
That is football heritage, but the motherfucker got sent off, right, in that game because he tried to. Mkhitaryan was the last man on goal, and you can't catch up to him? You really think he's going to score? And so you get sent off like
Do you know
that?
how old Acuna is? Acuna is older than Mkhitaryan or the same.
like
Acuna wasn't the one that got
hamstring.
sent off. It was the other guy. I got to remember his name. I forgot. But it was just like, and at that point, River Plate was going to lose at that point. They were down to 10 men, and Inter got the goal, and they won. So it's a shame. They had a chance. They had chances, but River Plate was probably the best Argentinian team of the two. But Boca, oh man, I mean, you told me, I think CP, you told me this is the worst version of Boca. It was you or RSM that told me this is the worst version of Boca Juniors that we're seeing in the tournament, and it shows.
Oh, good.
The worst team in the tournament was that Asian team that I watched Dortmund play.
No,
they were terrible.
They didn't win a game.
The worst team.
It has to be
the
Auckland,
biggest.
no?
How about this? The most disappointing team in the tournament. Porto. Easily Porto. Porto came out of the group with 1 point.
Yeah, you can say that.
2 points.
Like underperforming.
No,
Not
1 point.
Yeah.
1 point, right? Because I
Two.
think they.
I'm looking
lost.
at it. It's 2 points.
Oh,
They
it's
got two draws.
okay.
And
But
a
they
loss.
were very disappointing. They didn't come
Yeah.
out. They were last in their group.
Second to
They-
last,
they-
but yeah.
Wait, who
Can
was
I
last
talk
then?
one more thing? It's about ESTEVOU.
Ali
I
I
don't know.
by goal difference.
Al-Ahli?
No, Ali I by goal difference.
Can we speak about ESTEVOU? Like having
The
seen
Asian
him,
team.
he's still raw. He still is not like I would say ready for
This is
taking on
CP's
the world.
wheelhouse.
I don't know. I mean, I've only watched his games now in this
I watched
tournament.
most of his games.
You don't think
Sorry?
ESTEVOU's ready?
Oh no, I know he's right. I
No,
I
no,
know
he's still not refined. I mean, like if you look at like the hype, he's good, but like the hype.
But if you're going based off of like how well the Brazilian teams are doing in this tournament, you don't think he will translate to the?
No.
Also, he's been playing left wing because fucking Abel Ferreira has been playing a left wing because they don't have a left winger of good quality. So they're like, okay, we'll just move him left
Yeah,
wing.
he's been playing out of position. I did
It's not
notice
even his
that.
strong. He just started playing left wing about a month ago.
Yeah,
Before
maybe
then, he was
maybe that
at
is the
most
reason. But if you look at the hype, then my expectation was like, there's a guy like
Okay,
he
but
will
it's like putting
he will
Yamal
be
left wing. You're gonna
level of-
hinder Yamal at left wing compared to when he's a 10/right winger.
Yeah, that's exactly I mean. I mean, the level expectation is somebody like closer to Palmer or Yamal or something, but he's not there. He's not there yet. Maybe because he's playing out of the position, but he's not there yet.
No, he's there. He's there. I'm not worried about him. I've been watching him for 2 years. He's not Yamal because
You
first of all,
ready to-
Yamal's been
you-
playing for Barcelona, so I'm not even saying that. I have to see it to believe it. But also the same thing happened. I remember when Ansu Fati and Vinny broke through. They broke through around the exact same time. Ansu Fati was way ahead of him because Vinny was playing against Madrid. And then at the end, the fucking injuries because
Man,
Barcelona
Sticker
overplayed
sucks.
him, just like what's happening to Yamal. And then Vinny is having the better career. I think
What
it's
were you
going to be
gonna say,
very
Dark?
similar. I think literally they're going to destroy Yamal if they don't get cover from him.
I'm like,
What were you saying,
multitasking
Dark?
right now? No, I'm multitasking. I forgot what I was gonna say.
He was
Oh,
just looking
Chris.
at
I did
Joao's
it, Chris.
eyes. It's all good. He was just looking at Joao Felix's eyes. I get it.
Oh, ESTEVOU.
Distracting him. That
Yeah,
was why he was
yeah.
multitasking.
Ash.
That's
Yeah,
your
those
boy
dreamy
right there.
eyes, right? Big dark. Those dreamy eyes.
It's the hair flips.
I'll be honest. The only reason I'm not buying the new Chelsea kit is in the hopes that if we win, I need that gold badge on my.
The badge on it.
I need
Ooh.
that badge. I need that gold badge in the center of the
We might
third
have to
kit.
wait.
Of the
What
third
if we get a
kit, like-
sponsorship? What
Like
if we get a
like gold and
sponsorship right in
black,
between?
like gold and black. Oh, it's gonna look so good.
But what if we get a sponsor?
Don't
By the
worry.
time that
I don't
gold
think
we
and
are.
badge comes up, we get a sponsor. It's gonna
If
ruin
we
it.
get to the
would we
finals, we will get a sponsor very fast.
I think we're gonna get a sponsor regardless.
Yeah, but like if you are in a final of World Cup, and like, there will be
Oh
people
yeah,
lining
Inter
up.
Milan got a sponsor for the Champions League.
The
final,
Zone's
right?
gonna sponsor us, boys. We'll be sponsored by
Yeah,
the
like
Zone.
Paramount.
That's a trophy.
They can't.
The
Sky
end of-
Sports. Sky Sports.
Fuck. Never mind. All right, it's okay. We're
Sky
fine.
Sports. The people who pay the most of the money. Yeah.
All right, whatever. But yeah, okay. But in terms of, do you guys actually see a possibility of us winning this whole thing?
Yes.
Technically, yeah.
Take one game at a time, Marshall.
The odds
Listen,
are kind
I'm
of
thinking
low.
the same thing. I'm thinking the same thing, but I can definitely see us beating Palmeiras. I can definitely see us beating Fluminense and Al-Hilal, right? Like I figured in those games we're probably the favorites, and if we do the right thing, we continue on. If we get to the final, we're talking. I don't think it's gonna be Dortmund. I'll be honest with you. It's gonna be.
Yo,
either
can you
Bayern,
believe this? Just
PSG,
months
or
ago,
Real Madrid.
RSM was like, I want us to play PSG so we can lose first round. Now look.
Like,
Hey.
RSM, you
we
gotta
might win this
understand.
shit.
If you ask objectively, which I have seen football wise, like real fast and good football, then it is PSG, it's Bayern Munich, it's Chelsea, it's Boca Juniors.
Hmm.
What
But
about Real
on the
Madrid?
day,
Where you
on a
putting Real
given day,
Madrid at?
anybody can outperform anybody. That gives an
Yeah,
like
that's true. Okay, let me ask you guys this. Can you guys see us? I'm gonna go one at a time. Can you guys see us in the final potentially if we get there, right? Like one game at a time, like JC said. If we do get to the final, if we're up against Real Madrid,
No.
can you see us beating them?
No. I'm
Against
telling
Real Madrid?
if you've been
Oh,
watching
Real Madrid, we are favorites.
Yeah.
No,
Real Madrid, we are favorites.
I have
TP.
I have better hope of us beating PSG and
Really?
Bayern Munich
And
than
Bayern?
if you watch the past two
Really?
games, the way Xavi Alonso's been implementing this new fucking system, they won 1-0. They should have won 10-0. If they started Mbappe and Mbappe is sick, that's the only reason why he didn't play, and that other kid's been playing. If Mbappe started that game, that they would have baptized them 5-6-0. The way they've implemented this new system, attacking wise, is so cracked with the players they have. They're playing Tchouameni in the so Tchouameni is technically playing as a center back,
Okay.
right? Technically, but in possession he goes into the midfield.
Okay.
I think they have an extra midfield advantage, who's a natural DM with Jude
You're saying
Bellingham
like
and
a
Valverde, and then you
Bastoni,
have
like a Bastoni
and then you
role,
have
right?
Arthur Güler being like a cam.
CP,
Oh, yeah,
I
he's actually
think
playing.
they are still not very fast and very like it's not totally ready team.
No, I know, but they'll be ready by the time it's the final,
Oh,
and
my bad,
and they're the one team I would not count over a final. And with Bayern Munich, their defense is shit. Their attack is amazing. Their defense is shit with Upamecano and everyone. So I think we have a better chance of that than Madrid because Huijsen's been looking
Bayern
amazing.
as well. We have a better chance with Bayern as well, but PSG is toughest for us.
I think
PSG
PSG is easier for us because they simply just don't have a target. Like I trust Cucurella to lock up whoever's on the right wing.
Yeah.
and I think Reece James can take on Ousmane Dembele. So it's then strictly on our center backs to cover whoever's in the middle. Right?
I see
Dembele's not going to be in the middle, right?
Which is going to
Dembele's
be
in the middle.
probably Ousmane Dembele because Kvaratskhelia is going to be on the left wing. So
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
I see it different with PSG. If Kukurea is going to going after one
Bombing up.
player to lock him up, there will be a very quick short pass over the top, and there will be another player behind Kukurea. They are very well oiled, very fast. They look at this like if there is a low block, one player is coming, they will have a space behind. They exploit spaces fast. That will be tough match. Real Madrid is little bit slower. Bayern, you correctly said, like their as defense and everything, and their style of play when they like to press, but they are not really very like well gelled team. Real Madrid, that will play into our hands.
Sure.
Like the way we play, that might play into our hands. And Real Madrid really starts slow. They really heat up the game from around 60 minutes, and then they are crushing the opponents. It's in their DNA or whatever you say. Like they finish the games very strong, but they
Heritage.
they probe, they see, they evaluate what's the team playing and all that, and then they kill you in the last 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
That plays into our hand. If we score once or twice, it's a question of our inexperience. Can we hold on that
Totally agree.
barrage, like the barge, or like how to say that, like the level will be raised by Real Madrid during the last 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
So out of those three, I would say PSG is the toughest. I'm not afraid of anybody else in the tournament, to be honest. But let's take one game at a time, respect the opponents.
Yeah.
I agree with JC on this one. I think our least favorable
One is
opponent
PSG.
in that final is going to be PSG. If we get Real Madrid, I can see us like controlling that game. I can see us being okay. Like I know Kylian Mbappe is going to absolutely cause so much havoc to our defense, but I can see us just doing enough to be able to keep the ball away from the net. We'll probably concede in that game, but I can see us also being able to score and causing issues to their defenders, especially considering the players that we have. Like I think Delap is going to cause a lot of chaos. Not chaos. I don't want to overdo it either. Like I think he's going to be problematic. I'll say that. And I think Cole Palmer is going to be a big issue for them as well to manage. I think our midfield is going to show its class against them, especially if we have the three of them on the pitch rather than just the two. If it's Bayern, I feel like it's the same thing. We'll control the midfield. It's just keeping Kane quiet, which is not an easy task to do. But if you put Moises Caicedo on Kane, then you can get something out of it, or maybe even Alavia on Kane. You can get something out of that one and just keep it quiet. And defensively, like CP, Dark, I think you guys said it. Like they're not great defensively, right? We can definitely exploit that, especially if we have pacey wingers on at that day. A Neto getting behind. It's also Company. Like I'm not gonna disrespect Vincent Company, but I do feel in terms of like tactically, I think I rate Maresca's ability and tacticianness over Vincent Company's. So I think we'll out tactic Bayern. When it comes to PSG, they have basically everything. They have the tactics, they have the players, the speed, the youth, the experience. So that's the one where I'm like, yeah, I don't think we beat that. I think Enrique is on another level in terms of a tactician that even if we set up the beginning of the game properly, he can switch up that PSG team so quick. And knowing how Maresca's been, where he will stick to something until halftime and then change it up, we'll struggle. We'll struggle big time. He'll switch it up on the spot and he'll exploit our weaknesses on the spot. Like I think Enrique is that guy. So if we go up against PSG win it. I'm just saying. I'm saying it right now. That's my
That's not a hot take.
Yeah,
prediction.
but Enrique is 1 year ahead. Huh? 1 year ahead. Maresca is into second year. Enrique is into third year.
Enrique's
first year was like
years
that.
on Maresca though, and in terms of experience of the game, like Enrique's got years on him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But still, like first year of Enrique was just like first year of Maresca, up and down.
That's pretty
and all
bad.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that, it's just they have the good balance. Time will tell. Time will tell because I want to see how this team fare up against. Because now for me, after that Benfica game, I think this whole notion that Ahmed likes to say about mentality and all this, I think it's out the door. This team has showed they have the mentality. Like they did the grueling 2-hour break, doing cardio the whole time, came out, lost that penalty, and then still came back to win the game. Like the hustle is there. Like they really want to win it. Like they understand putting everything out there and coming out of the game with nothing less than a victory. Like I think the mentality is starting to really establish. You even hear Levi Colwell after the game, his interview, come out and say like we were expecting to win. We wanted nothing less than a win. Like it was like, okay, this is what Chelsea fans want to hear. Like the winning mentality that a lot of fans were questioning about this team, like, oh, you're lazy, lackadaisical, all this stuff. I think it's there now.
I don't fully agree yet. We need to, at the very least, for us to have this quote unquote mentality, we need to be in the final. And if we lose, it needs to be a tough loss.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the loss, but that's when I know it's a mentality because it's like simply the quality of their team is just simply better. And we lost valiantly like a chippy 1-0. Right,
Yeah.
Something happened in the score goal, but
yeah, we can't get dominated.
That's then I'm like, okay, that shows me mentality because first of all, you've gone through the process of
Chelsea
being favorites of this side of the draw and going all the way to the final, and then you're playing arguably, if it's PSG, the best team in the world.
Yeah, and listen,
and if you lose 1-0 respectfully, that's fine because they probably would have beaten a lot of teams more than that until they faced us.
Marshall, Sippy, a question. Who are the standout players of the tournament so far and the manager?
Neto.
Like, it's still a long way to go, but
Wait,
like
of our team or of the tournament overall?
Of the tournament overall.
Overall.
I mean, it's still a long way. The business end of the tournament is still remaining, but are there any like superstars like you had like a young player of the tournament in World Cup, like we had Enzo. And then there are goalkeepers like the Golden Boot and all that. Like
for our goalkeepers, it's definitely Bono because he's showing himself again and why he was getting so much praise during last World Cup. So I would say him.
Huijsen's not a bad shout. Yeah, Huijsen's been really solid for Real Madrid. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for center backs, it's Thiago Silva and Huijsen for best center backs so far in the tournament between the two. Because like if you ask every Real Madrid fan right now, they're like, dude, he's changing my life. Like right now, they're absolutely in love with him. I would say those two would be in terms of center backs. And in terms of midfield, I would probably say Caicedo, Vitinha, and Savage would be like the three midfielders I can think
Savage
of.
has been
Savage. Yeah.
I would say those three are the three midfielders of like the tournament, and then attackers, it's kind of all over the place. Because Madrid, there's no standout. There's no standout really. So it's
there was this Benfica's player like who retired. What's his name? I forgot.
Oh, Di Maria.
Di Maria has the highest number of goals, but they are all penalties.
Yeah, but they're all penalties.
Yeah, they're all penalties.
Then you have Neto. Neto is doing well.
Yeah, I would say Neto for one of the wings. Yeah.
Yeah, I would give, even though he hasn't scored, I have to give ESTEVOU a shout. Like you can tell that there's a really good player there, and he stands out like a sore thumb when you watch the games and you watch him play. Like he stands, he's like a shining beacon amongst like just normal men in these teams. Like he does really stand out. I know he hasn't scored, but he's been very close. He's been very dangerous. He's basically carrying Palmeiras really. So I'm gonna give him a shout. But
as for the managers, you have Inzaghi putting the dagger in Inter.
Yeah, I would put it as Enrique, Inzaghi, and Xavi Alonso.
Yeah, Enrique Inzaghi, really.
And Philip Luis as well with Flamengo. Like he.
I mean,
he
to be fair,
over,
I think
overachieved.
Maresca gets a good shout too because he's trying a different system and I think he's exceeding expectations, which leads me to my next question for you guys. Like, if Maresca gets to a final, do you think at that point Chelsea fans need to just shut the fuck up and trust what he's doing?
It's not gonna happen.
That's one of the reasons why I'm saying let's go game by game.
He
Because
needs
if
to win
now
it.
the
He needs
fans
to
are
win
in
it.
dreamland, and if we lose any of the games in quarterfinals or semifinals, this will be a meltdown.
Yeah.
But if he gets to the finals, he overachieved, right?
No, not for this fan base. I'm telling you, like for me, I wouldn't say overachieved because the pathways become so easily. I would say he's slightly overachieved, you could say, if we lose only 1-0 to PSG. But if he wins this tournament, then I could be like, this is a big FU because he would have faced one of the European juggernauts in either Bayern Munich, PSG, or Real Madrid, or all teams in Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
If he wins, I don't want to jinx
If he
it.
wins.
If he wins it, let's have it. Let's have it. I want to see what will be those streams.
I want to see all the negativity from the fan base, from the different people, and be like, I'm
telling you right now, before it even happens, they're gonna say like, "Oh, cool, he won a preseason trophy," or "Oh, cool, let's see him do it at the UCL." It's like, okay, whatever, bro.
That would be
like,
undermining.
they're gonna play it down. They're gonna undermine it. Like already.
Yeah.
You
know what? You know what? Fair enough. You're right. They are gonna do that. They're actually gonna do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but not us, because we're not that shameless, and we understand that this is not necessarily an easy tournament, and these players are actually playing like their best teams. These teams are playing their best teams, and these players are putting it all on the pitch. Like they really are trying their damn hearts out. So
we've seen already positive things. A new system, different kind of system, and before the start of the tournament, everybody expected that we will lose to PSG in the round of 8.
Yeah,
we are already there. So whatever we do next is just luck and over expectations. But now, like, okay, it's business end of the tournament. Anybody can beat anybody. So I'm satisfied after this.
Yeah, no, and honestly, even no, I want to get to the next round. If I get to the semifinals and I lose in the semi, then I think I'd be pretty content with this team. Okay, before I end the stream, ladies and gents, score predictions. JC, we'll start with you. Palmeiras, Chelsea, Palmeiras on Friday. What's your score prediction?
1-0 or 2-1 Chelsea.
Okay, Dark, what about you, bro? Oh, Dark might be AK. Okay, CP, what is your score prediction?
I'm going 3-0.
Okay, I'm gonna go 2-0 to Chelsea. I think we'll win this. I think we'll be all right. Yo, ridiculous. That's crazy. But yeah, I think we're gonna control the shit out of this game. I think we'll have chances. I think we'll miss a lot of chances, but we'll get 2 in there.
I'm scared of the yellow cards though, because they're gonna kick the living shit out of us. I'm telling you that right now.
They're gonna be aggressive.
People are gonna get yellows.
Who's going to referee? I don't want to see that referee with the yellow cards. Like,
no, I know, JC. Trust me, they're gonna kick the living shit out of us because our midfield is all Gallagher's in terms of they're gonna run like headless fucking chickens. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they're gonna.
And a lot of our players are on yellows right now, and I'm scared of the game after because they might miss out. That's more.
Yeah, they're gonna. The Palmeiras is gonna leave everything on the pitch. They're gonna play their hearts out. So.
Enzo in the midfield with all those Brazilians. Yeah, shit's gonna pop off.
Yeah, we'll see. It's I'll be there in that game, ladies and gents. Expect a match day vlog. Yeah, I'll be going. Nice. Me and Jimmy will be going. I'll say this right now. If you're watching this right now, if you're planning to go to that game, if you do want to meet some of your favorite content creators here in the U.S., the Xfinity Live is where we're all probably going to meet before we go into the stadium, which is right next to the stadium. And the game is at 9, so probably say we're gonna meet there around 6-7 p.m. I don't know. It depends on what's gonna happen. I'll have more details on the Discord as well and on community posts as to where I'm going to be, because I have a whole day pretty much. I have no work, and I'm planning to meet with Pete as well. Pete will be there. So yeah, a few Chelsea fans, a few
Peter's
Chelsea
going?
content creators. Yep, Pete's going. So yeah,
From
there'll be a
Cali,
few of us. There'll be a few of us going there. It's gonna be an epic vlog, and we'll see how it turns out. And then there'll be a review of the match the next day on Saturday. So yeah, check that out. I will say right now there will be no Casually FC show tomorrow because I need to sleep. And honestly, Mad Dwecky can wait until next week. There won't be a show on Sunday either because I'm actually, there might be a show on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I need to catch up on sleep and I need to rest. And yeah, it's been a grueling week, but after this we should be good and steadying the ship again. So big up to every single one of you in the chat. We're closing out the show here. Be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Big up to everyone who came into the show today and subscribed. I've seen you. Thank you, Stream Elements, for letting me know who subscribed. But yeah, big up to every single one of you. We're gonna raid out to, I think we're raiding out to Hussam. I think he's still on.
Yeah, he's still live.
Yeah.
He's still live.
Yeah. So big up to Hussam. Go ahead and show him some love by copying and pasting that raid message. Let him know where you guys are coming from. Also, be sure to check out the links in the description for everyone's content as well as my own. Check out the memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p, and I give shout outs to the proper casuals and higher, which includes Dark here in the panel. But big shout out to Dark, Adrian, A. Suleiman, TM127EE, Daniel, and shout out to the rest of you guys who are also members as well. Enjoy the emojis, enjoy the memberships and the perks that come with it. There will be more perks in the future, I promise. But thank you guys so much. There will be no show tomorrow. I am going to rest. And ladies and gents, be sure to stay tuned for the vlog Friday night and the review on Saturday as well of the game. All right. Until then, catch you guys later. Until have a wonderful night and stay casual. Peace.
Yes.